It's a 600-mile offshore classic, where a competitive and diverse fleet tackles an enthralling and challenging racecourse, but also a race infused by a sense of community and a passion for the sport. The Rolex Middle Sea race offers sailors a relentless challenge, one that can leave even the most experienced crews with little respite as they respond to the race's constant demands. The scenic racecourse, comprising an anti-clockwise circumnavigation of Sicily, takes in the Messina Strait, 2 active volcanoes including Stromboli, the race's emblematic landmark, enchanting islands, and open water legs to the islands of Pantelleria and Lampedusa. Before the fleet reached the finish line off Valletta, within sight of the Royal Malta Yacht Club, partnered by Rolex since 2002. The Maltese capital also hosts the race start of this unique circular route, the imperious Grand Harbour adding to the spectacle. The fleet set to start this year's 42nd edition is full of quality, with over 100 yachts expected from over 20 countries. The fastest monohull and multi-hulls will have an eye on breaking the 14-year-old race record of just under 48 hours. While for many crews the tantalising prospect of overall victory will sharpen their competitive edge, focus their sailing skills and fuel their endurance. The Rolex Middle Sea race embodies all of the qualities of a great offshore contest, uniting professionals and Corinthians, first-class organisation, an inspiring racecourse, and demanding the very best from crews. The 2021 edition starts on Saturday, the 23rd of October.
This is the Sailing World on Water, October 22nd, 2021. These are our highlights in the sport of sailing in the last 7 days. The 42nd edition of the Rolex Middle Sea race starts from the Maltese capital Valletta tomorrow, and travels around Sicily, taking in the active volcanoes of Etna and Stromboli. The 120-yacht fleet includes Comanche, Rambler 88, Maserati and the overall race winner at the past 2 editions, Elusive 2. We will have a race report next week, in the World on Water. In the Star Sailors League Gold Cup, Test Event 3 finals, it was between Sweden, Slovenia, Poland and Austria. Sweden gently and comfortably read the wind shifts, Slovenia was happily trailing behind them, leaving Poland in third from Austria. Humankind has always looked to explore and push its boundaries. We are restless. We are curious. It is this that has led the Clipper race to help thousands of people step out from their comfort zone and train to become ocean racers. For 25 years, race crew, from all walks of life, have had the same purpose, saying yes to discovering personal frontiers and achieving something extraordinary. The ocean is their racetrack. They are at it again, Donna Bertarelli and Jan Guichard, on the solar-powered, huge trimaran, Winds of Change. They are on standby from November 1st to attempt the Jules Verne Trophy for the fastest time to sail around the world. Keep watching. Swan has crowned its winners across the 4 classes of the Swan 1 Design Worlds, after a week characterized by challenging conditions. The triumphant owners and crews have the right to consider themselves the best in the world, after battling to the top of the leaderboard in Saint-Tropez. The 2021 Finn World Masters, on Mar Mena, Murcia, Spain, concluded last Friday. Valérien Lebrun, from France, had already secured the championship but went out anyway as he was there for fun. The 2019 European Masters champion, Felipe Silva, from Portugal secured second overall, while the top home nation sailor, David Terrell, was placed third. The USA's Daniela Moros closed out a remarkable 5 titles in succession at the Formula Kite World Championships on the Italian island of Sardinia, coming from behind in the finals shootout on the sparkling Gulf of Oristano to seize the coveted crown. The 34-meter Spirit 111 sloop Geist has scooped 2 accolades at this year's prestigious World Superyacht Awards. Geist won the Sailing Yacht category and the coveted Sailing Yacht of the Year award. At 33.9 meters long, Geist has a fully laden displacement of 65 tons and is the largest wooden sloop built in the UK since the J-class yacht, Shamrock 5, in the 1930s. The yacht's completely customized, handcrafted interior is a series of seamless curves made from sustainably sourced timber. Now over to the Star Sailors League.
Minus 10, 9, 8. We have a go for main engine start. We have main engine start. 4, 3, 2, 1.
The 4 races scheduled on the final day of the 3rd SSL Gold Cup test event. The last qualifying races for both fleets, a crucial day for 4 teams. The situation was similar in both fleets. The first in the ranking were already qualified for the grand final. The 4th place teams couldn't mathematically hope to get there, while the 2nd and 3rd place teams had a shot to access the grand final. Peru and Slovenia in Fleet 2, Sweden and Spain in Fleet 1. In the first duel, Slovenia had the best of the Peruvian. They not only won the access to the grand final, but the race itself. In Fleet 1, Spain opted for the right-hand side of the course right after the start, and that put them in the bottom position from which they were not able to recover. Sweden finished second in the race and in the overall standings, joining Slovenia, Poland, Austria in the grand final. The petite final started with the wind lightening up. It quickly became a battle for the win between Spain and Denmark up until the final downwind, when Denmark got a penalty from the on-water umpire and Spain sailed smoothly towards the finishing line, winning the petite final and finishing in 5th overall of the 3rd SSL Gold Cup test event. In 6th, it was the Danish, followed by Serbia and Peru, who had their worst day yet. And then the grand final. It was an adrenaline, heart-clenching, fingernail-biting as it gets. A great and super tight start by Sweden that was battling against Poland, who consequently had quite a slow beginning of the race. Slovenia was right behind the Olympic champion Max Salmonen's team. They arrived to the top marks together and then again at the bottom gate, while another duel was taking place on the same racecourse. Austria also had a pretty bad start, way behind on the rest of the fleet in the first leg. With Olympic champion Mateusz Kuznerowic's team, Poland picked the wrong side of the field and they were left fighting for the 3rd step of the podium until the end. It was an amazing tacking battle that ensued all the way to the finishing line. While a battle of epic proportions was happening in the back lines, Sweden gently and comfortably read the wind shifts, meeting the needs of the boat, shifting the weight of the crew to the bow, then to leeward, and back up to windward, hiking in the puffs. Max and his Vikings crossed the finish line in 1st and exploded in joy.
I had good confidence going into the grand finale after taking care of Spain in the last qualifying race. Yeah, the crew work on board just improved throughout the whole week, and we feel fast in this light. We picked the right side to sail on, and I'm so happy for the team.
Slovenia in 2nd was happily trailing behind, ending a week that didn't start in the best way, but saw Vasilis Bogart's 8 sailors truly growing together as a team.
We are getting better and better day by day, and we got into the finals, which was already a big step for us, and then a 2nd place at the end. At this point, with this team, just 2 days together, I think it's a good result, a great reward for the team that worked really hard, and we're really looking forward for next year.
Poland won the battle over Austria by finding the ever slightest puff and finishing 3rd, and Austria saw their podium hopes vanish in the last couple boat lengths of the race.
We were always on the wrong side of the course, so we were struggling to get there. So we focused on the podium. The goal was to celebrate today with the champagne, and we did it just on the end. The final run was amazing. Like we were so tense, and we're happy we finished 3rd. But we know what we have to improve for the future.
And that finishes it up for this 3rd SSL test event. We can't wait to see you next year, starting on the 3rd of May for the 2022 SSL Gold Cup.
best to show your insignificance amongst its might. You will experience Mother Nature in the raw and feel her fury. Majestic white horses crash towards you, with the thunder of their hooves pummeling the deck. Yet the ocean and its backdrop will reward as much as it does challenge. Vibrant displays from the natural world etch into the soul of even the most weary sailor. And for your homecoming, land's earthly scent stretches its tendrils before it comes into sight. The coastline beckons, and a unique emotion descends. Joy, pride, and a sense of togetherness that is rare to find. The ocean awaits anyone who dares to push themselves to their absolute limit. This is the race of your life.
I'm delighted to announce that on November 1st, Spindrift, with our maxi 3-round Sail of Change, will be on standby for a fourth attempt to beat the Jules Verne Trophy around the world sailing record. We will attempt this record around the world without using energy from fossil fuels. Our main sources of energy will be solar and wind power and a cycling generator on board.
Sails of Change is not only the name of our boat, but also the gathering of a community of sports and nature lovers who want to create a sustainable future for our planet.
The first campaign we support and we will proudly carry on ourselves is 30 by 30, a global call to action to protect at least 30% of the planet by 2030.
I'm very happy to join the team as onboard reporter for my second attempt to beat the Jules Verne Trophy around the world sailing record. Through Sails of Change, we want to shine a light on the importance of preserving nature, biodiversity, and ecosystems. We will also amplify the efforts of Spindrift for Schools, an educational program we founded to share educational resources about the environment with teachers, students, and their families. Through the sport we love, I invite everyone to embark with us on this human adventure, learn about the beauty of nature, and accompany us around the world.
To say that this is just an amazing view. Sailing, fun and enjoyment. Thank you very much.
Swan. So I'll tell you not to worry about tomorrow, about the past.
This boat is 2 years old, sailing again, and with a lot of Finn friends, and it's really fun. And I must say, the organization, the location, it's really Finn vibe, and I must say, everybody is friendly.
The stars will show us. It's always.
Y desde luego estamos asombrados. Hay un equipo de trabajo inmejorable, una organización y unas atenciones con los regatistas que se salen de la media de lo que hemos encontrado en muchísimos lugares del mundo. En cuanto al campo de regata ya lo conocemos, el Mar Menor es un sitio privilegiado. Este centro de tecnificación deportiva de los Alcázares pues es un sitio también estupendo. Encima de todo eso pues se han dado unas condiciones de viento magníficas, se están dando, ¿no? Estamos encantados, organización en tierra, en agua, el sitio, y enhorabuena de verdad a todos los que lo habéis hecho posible.
I'm very happy to be here, and I'm very impressed that the organisation is working very well on the shore for more than 100 boats, which is not an easy thing to achieve, and also on the water. The race officer has been very good because he has not sent us to sea early. We did not have to dress in our sailing clothes before it was time to go. So we have had a very comfortable regatta, and the sailing has been very good on the water also. So I'm very happy about the whole regatta.
Rising sun hits the sky.
Take these hopes and hold them high.
Está siendo una competición muy buena. Todos los días con muy buenas condiciones en el agua, de viento, la organización está siendo espectacular. Los regatistas se están portando de una forma ejemplar. El comité de regata, balizadores, organización, la verdad que no hay ninguna queja, es más, al revés, es todo muy positivo. y esperamos que siga así tanto el día de hoy como el día de mañana.
Take these hopes and hold them high. Every time you live in color, heaven knows we'll discover a story in the making, at the start of something greater than we could uncover, holding on to all this wonder, a story. Taking.
Today we have the medal series. That means the top two from the opening series are already waiting in the final, and we have places 3 to 14 distributed into 2 semi-finals. They go racing, only the winner of each semi-final makes it to the final, and then in the end we have a final with 4 boats and they race until someone has 3 points. In the final, the first one from the opening series already has 2 match points. The second place has 1 match point, and the other 2 from the semi-finals join with 0 points. And they keep racing until someone has 3 points.
So congrats Daniela, how is it getting your 5th world title?
Yeah, it's super crazy. Feels really surreal, and I had an awesome team to help me through it, and yeah, I'm super thankful for them. How is it for you?
Yeah, I'm really stoked to get my first title. Yeah, I really pushed it, I trained a lot, and I'm really happy to bring the BMG on top in both women and men divisions. Yeah. Last night I didn't sleep too much, I was just thinking about the whole thing, and yeah, it was a lot in my mind going on, but in the end I just took it step by step. I knew I had to win the races, and I went there to do my job, and I didn't work at the first time, and then we did another race, and I just took it step by step, and it worked out.
I was pretty nervous again this morning. Yeah, same. Just like, yeah, thinking about how it could happen, and then as soon as like the warning signal went off, everything just kind of quieted, and I was able to focus more and just get into the groove. And yeah, I was like, let's seal the deal right here, and managed to win that first race.
In yachting, there is always a tug of war between old versus new, tradition versus innovation. Most of the time, you can't have both. 111 feet Geist, the second new boat in this year's race, rips up the rulebook. This modern classic may draw comparisons with the iconic J-Class, but is making waves in her own right, recently winning the prestigious Sailing Yacht of the Year award. Below deck is just as impressive. Free-flowing curves and sculptural furniture make it feel like a work of art on water. Geist was built by Spirit Yachts in Ipswich, England. As the largest single-masted wooden yacht to be built in the country since 1930, it was a huge undertaking for the Spirit team, led by Sean Macmillan.
Geist is certainly one of the most interesting projects we've done, undoubtedly the most challenging project we've done. The fundamental difference about Geist than any other yacht is because her interior is based on a whole series of curves. The original concept was we took the very head of a violin, turned it on its side, and that gave us the original curves. The problem with that is because it's all curves, from an engineering point of view, we couldn't treat any of them as structural because most yachts have major structural bulkheads that run across the boat, and they're major parts of the structure. But with a curved bulkhead, put it under enough pressure, it'll collapse. So the first challenge we had with Geist was to design the entire yacht only using the hull as a monocoque that was strong enough to take all the loads and then build this extraordinary interior inside it. That was quite a challenge. It kept me awake at night. I love taking every technical development, every challenge that comes along and making it work, but keeping it in an aesthetically beautiful form. If you're going to come and commission a pure, one-off, custom-built wooden yacht, in a sense you're coming away from the mainstream of yacht design and construction, which is still basically around production or semi-production boats. And most of the people who we build for are successful in their own right. And they've become successful because they've made the kinds of decisions that they're also making to come have a yacht built by us. So there is a certain type of personality there already, and it ends up being a very close relationship. You spend 2, maybe 3 years working on a project with an owner, and you have to trust each other hugely. We are very much responsible for their dreams. The most poignant moment is actually when we put them in the water. And it's completely unspoken, but everybody in the yard just downs tools, and you're just going to lean over the railing and just watch, and it goes in. And it's a hugely emotional moment when you take 2, 3 years of your life making something to go in a specific environment, and then you put it in that environment, and it looks right, and it feels right, and you just think, yeah, that's okay, we did all right there. It's marvellous.